You ever get nervous for the shows?
Nervous before the shows? I don't think it's nervous. It's like anxiety, so to speak, but not in a stressful way. It's like me getting ready, prepared. So it's just like I'm thinking about every moment, every step, and every second. So it's like, okay.
Hey Zaki, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Zaki? Zaki! You dumbass bitch! You dumbass bitch! Okay, so if you hear the video, I'm playing it. Do you hear the video? Okay! Don't yell at me, who are you? Hey, don't call me a dumbass, you're the dumbest who didn't know how to pay. Fucking whore. Okay, I'm gonna leave my laptop on. You enjoyed this shitty movie, you gay ass nigga. Okay, bye. Let me know if something happens.
Nervous before the shows? I don't think it's nervous. It's like anxiety, so to speak, but not in a stressful way. It's like me getting ready, prepared. So it's just like I'm thinking about every moment, every step, and every second. So it's like, okay, cool. Let's go out there and do our thing. Some nights are stronger than other nights. Some nights I'm just confident and just having fun. But some nights it's like I got a point to prove, show them why I need to be doing it. You know, it's disappointing for me in certain ways because I feel like, you know, certain aspects of my career sometimes are overshadowed by the negative stuff. So it's like that kind of like fucks with my head a lot. Now how I transition my creativity is basically all I want to kind of show, you know, because I'm tired of giving people something to talk about. You know, they should be talking about how I'm the baddest motherfucker on the stage instead of you know, I'm the baddest motherfucker in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? I just try to keep a level head, whatever problem's going on. Like everybody go through their shit. I go through my shit most of the time. You know, I got a problem every day, but it's like I try to just keep my head on straight. And I kind of channel some of that energy. If I'm angry, if I'm upset about something, I take it out on the stage. I'm moving on.
Standing here with a guy right now that knows everyone on the red carpet, and everybody wants to work with him.
It's been a blessing. I just can't do nothing but thank all my fans. I just appreciate all the support. It's been incredible.
I ain't going back no more. I ain't going back no more. I ain't going back no more.
The winner is Chris Brown. I just want to say thank all the fans. I love you with all my heart.
You're 23 years old. I mentioned you came out with your first music when you were 16. You were discovered at 13.
Chris Brown, Riding High. Brand new CD out. Fame. It's out today. Already has 3 #1 hits, a 4th one climbing the charts.
He's been labeled hip-hop's bad boy.
Chris Brown is accused of assault and battery.
The alleged fight broke out inside a Lamborghini that was located.
Stupid Z, you bum. Now I have to rewind this, like, right here.
The winner is Chris Brown. I just want to say thank all the fans. I love you with all my heart.
You're 23 years old. I mentioned you came out with your first music when you were 16. You were discovered at 13.
Chris Brown, Riding High, brand new CD out, Fame. It's out today. Already has 3 #1 hits, a 4th one climbing the charts.
He's been labeled hip-hop's bad boy.
Chris Brown is accused of assault and battery.
The alleged fight broke out inside a Lamborghini that was
I'm gonna tell you
located.
something. I was disappointed, almost felt let down because I said this kid could be the great superstar.
Sentenced to 5 years of probation, 180 days of community leave.
I lost my best friend. Like, everything I knew snitched.
Brown reportedly used a chair to smash a window in his dressing room.
I guess he's not a morning person. How are you different?
I've been humbled by the whole experience, from me losing everything. Most importantly, knowing that what I did was totally wrong.
It's also been said people like comeback stories.
For me, it's about proving myself to my fans. From a small town, Tallahassee, Virginia. As you see me through on my journey, I was about 15 when I started.
Tell me, Paris, have you seen love? It was about 5 years.
It was a good start for me as a kid to be able to kind of start off green in a way.
Chris was very, very active at a very early age, probably 1 before he was walking. He started out in child care because I ran a child care center. And he was probably one of the most active child in the facility itself.
Since he was like 2, he wanted to look at Michael Jackson videos and dance. I mean, he could come to my house and get in between the doorways and actually climb them and do backflips, you know. So he was always full of energy all the time.
He would go to relatives' houses and whatnot, but nobody wanted him to spend the night. Because Chris was jumping from bed to bed. I was a fan of Michael Jackson's all my life, of course. So he was sitting in front of the TV. He would try to mimic his moves.
Being able to see stuff on TV, whether it be my idols, Michael Jackson, or anybody that I looked up to at the time, you know, and be able to try to put myself in that world. I just tried to always look at it like, okay, I can do that. You know, being from a small town, you know, where there's not too many opportunities, but have that mentality to try to push forward and be something bigger and greater.
In school, he liked to be the center of attraction.
You know, it's cool upbringing. You know, real country. High school, about maybe 500 kids, and the graduating class is probably about 30.
Chris was a happy-go-lucky type of kid. He was always smiling, always moving around, dancing. Every now and then you might catch him over there singing. Even on the basketball court, he was somewhat, I guess you could say, creative and always moving and had different moves than the other kids.
I used to go to all of his games. He used to show off a lot. He was like doing his moves on the court, and I'm like, are we playing ball here or what?
He was really artistic. He loved to draw.
They were mostly drawing assignments. And he was very good with the drawing, shading, the detail, and also with the coloring. He missed some time basically because of his, routines he was going through.
With my mom, she was a supporter from day one with my music. My dad, you know, he was there too. He actually first taught me how to moonwalk. He used to just, you know, just do it like on gravel one day. And I was like, man, how did he do that?
He was a kid, just acting out what he saw. But he actually sung on church choirs at an early age.
He was good at everything. He played basketball, football. He had his own style. He might not always had, you know, the means to have like the best of everything because, you know, times are hard. But he would take older clothes, rip them up, tie them back a certain way, adjust them and make his own style. He would dye his hair red.
And then he would go to school and sing, like at basketball games and football games, all the girls would crowd around him. So he really enjoyed that.
I hate performing when there ain't no girls. When there ain't no girls, you just take the life out of the performance because you can't just...
Well, for my success, you know, I would have to give it all to my family. You know, I think our values as family members, and you know, whether it be your mom, your dad, cousins, uncles, aunts, you know, grandma, grandpa, I think everybody had a real warm and humble approach at life.
See how she, you know she really feels what she's saying, and she laughed at that. listen. Look at her.
Chris's mom, she was very supportive of his career from the beginning. She always believed in him. She's actually one to say, you can sing.
His father worked at the gas station. As a guy came by, he said he was looking for some talent, and his father said, well, you know, my son sings. It was something that I knew that he was just interested in, so I just went with the flow.
She pretty much dropped it and went to New York to be with him.
From there, they did a little video, and the video got in the hands of L.A. Reid, and L.A. Reid saw him and fell in love with him.
When I heard about Chris, L.A. Reid, one of my influences, he said, you know, I really wish that you could have a conversation with Chris. I mean, you tell him what you want to tell him, as long as you tell him to come with me.
Tell me about the full form of Usher. That must have been a little crazy.
I mean, it was exciting because like I never talked to a celebrity before.
Yeah.
But like it was my first time. He called me. He was like, "What's up?" And I was like, "Who this?" He's like, "Oh, Usher." I was like, "Oh, what?"
I told him to make his decision where he goes based off of what's real more than anything. You got to rock with family.
So he was like, "Yeah, man, I hear you about to get signed with a different label." I was just asking him, like, who should I go with? And he like, just make sure it's the best decision for you. Whatever decision you pick, and whatever decision you make, the best for you.
That was our first conversation across the board.
It started from there.
His fame came instant. You know, it came all at once.
He was discovered at the age of 13 at a gas station where ladies and gentlemen, Chris Brown.
Being able to maneuver at 15 and try to, you know, have the success that I did have at the time, I was like, man, this is crazy.
When Run It came out, I heard him screaming all the way up, Mom, my song is on the radio.
I remember meeting Chris Brown for the first time in Miami. He just got done recording Run It. And as soon as he got done out the studio, it got in my hands, and I went on the radio and broke it. Helped break that record. And, it was a record I believed in. I knew he was going to be the next superstar the day I met him.
I remember the first time Chris Brown came on 106 in Park. I saw people lined up all the way down the block. And I didn't know, I thought some kind of fire drill was taking place or something like that. And as I got closer, I just, I saw it was kids. And then I looked and I saw they had spray paint on the t-shirts and, the signs that said, marry me Breezy, I love you Breezy, Chris Brown for life. And I was like, what is going on?
It was fun, but also I'm sure it was very stressful because he couldn't just walk into the store and go shopping, just go play basketball at the gym like he used to.
It wasn't the same anymore. He didn't understand that because he figured he could just go and he'd be fine. I'm a normal kid. I'm just Chris. And like, no, it doesn't work that way anymore.
Well, being 14 and 15 with a record deal, it's the best feeling in the world, but it also comes with complications,
I think it's tough for anybody to start out at 14, 15, because you ain't went to high school, you ain't had a chance to just live regular life. You've already been a star, so a lot of that's overwhelming.
Being that most of your family have dealt with poverty and, under minimum wage, kind of living most of your life, $10,000 to me was like, yeah, I'm rich,
My son calls me, I'm at work, and he goes, Mom, there's people outside our door recording and taking pictures, from paparazzi to even people you knew, just, made it different and difficult, having a normal life.
I just was more overwhelmed by it, but just not letting it shape me, not letting the money kind of shape what I want to do as an artist. Just like with every family, you have problems, complications, sometimes jealousy and envy plays a big role. It's kind of new to them. It's not really something that even myself really could comprehend at the time.
His mom and dad, they had a great relationship, and one day I guess they were all together home as a family, and then it fell apart.
Chris not having a father in the house made him grow up faster than what he actually had to. It was a lot. It was more than I knew that he could handle.
What I always call it is, as I tell Chris, is God's balance. God is going to give you that great opportunity to be something fantastic, and then at the same time, He's going to level darkness around you that's going to keep you balanced. So with a person that's 14, 15, hopefully they have someone there to recognize the dark patches and say, okay, yeah, we can do this, but you just got to be mindful of that.
Yeah, it was a challenge. And then just growing up, thinking that he was in this adult world and thinking that he could do what the adults do. But no, just because it's there for you, you're not going to do that. That is not what you do.
For me, having my mother there created a balance, and I think it was a bit difficult, period, for him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. You live with your mom, right?
Yes.
I think he felt that he had to take care of me. I gotta take care of my mom because my dad is not there. I'm the dad of the house, where he felt that he was the man of the house. That's how he thought, and that's actually what he said.
Your family, you expect to be your family. So even family sometimes, change.
At that point, it was kind of hard because Chris was back and forth with me and his father. And it was hard for his father because I left.
He grew up so fast, he didn't really get to have a childhood or, a teenage life of a normal person.
I really wanted him to actually speak to a psychiatrist to just prepare him for what was about to happen because he blew up so fast, knowing that he would not know how to handle it, so that he could talk about it and how it made him feel, but we never could get him to do that.
I want to be at the pinnacle, like the highest point to where I'm known as like a legend almost.
2 years ago, this artist was just another kid in high school. Now, 2 years later, he's one of the biggest stars in the world. Tonight, performing at the VMAs for the very first time, Chris Brown.
I was backstage with my dancer, he ran that movie. He was like, yo, you gotta see him. He's on stage right now. It's crazy. And I was like, I'm coming. And out of nowhere, I heard like this groundswell of like a stereo. You know what I'm saying? Like these, it was loud. It was loud as though it was loud as it was when I was on stage. So I ran out there, and he was killing it. Then I realized, oh my God, he's truly gifted. He's talented, man, in a way that we haven't seen in a long, long time, you know?
He has a gift, a gift like Michael Jackson had that makes you scratch your head and say, well, what else is he doing? Because I've seen these steps before, I've seen these moves before. What else is Chris Brown doing?
But when I got in the game, I kind of was like, I wouldn't say alone, but I was like, to myself, I had to prove myself. People wanted to be like, okay, well, cool, what is this kid about? Or what can you do?
I remember Chris's first BET Awards performance. I remember he came out with that white jacket. I think I was backstage at the time. I had to present shortly after, and I just remember hearing the rumbling. And so we're looking at the monitor, and we're just watching this kid, man, we're watching him kill it.
This dude is really, really special. I knew he was special, but I didn't realize how incredible of a dancer he was until that day. And I felt blessed to have him.
Really showed the best of Chris's ability to sing and dance and win over a crowd.
Only person I ever thought about like that is Michael Jackson. There's Michael Jackson and there's Chris Brown. And that's just facts.
Just like Michael Jackson opened the door for Usher, I believe that Usher opened the door for Chris.
For any person, African American artist, period, to have come up in that time and be successful and have that, very delicate mixture of being a singer, dancer, performer, entertainer, man, it was hard.
He was a trailblazer. He was setting the tone. There was a shift in how things were sounding, and there was this shift that was happening from the grungy street sound and how rap was just so hard to how hip hop and R&B and everything was like turned it into more dance and more fun?
When I first heard Chris's sound, I just remember it was just like kids just getting always down, like on the streets and doing all these beatbox dances. And like, I'm not a dancer, but I definitely was dancing. And I think what Chris started was kind of like that confidence boost in not only males, but I think in females too. And I think he paid a lot of respect to the dancer community.
I just remember seeing this young, fresh-faced kid, like, who's about to take over the world in so many ways.
Because it seems like this whole thing just happened so quickly. Like, how does it seem for you?
It's just a blessing. It's been going real fast. Yeah. Everything's happening so fast.
I was excited for him, and he was so excited. But after that, I guess he blew up instantly. We was on a tour. We went here. We went there. Everything was, and he was so excited and so happy in the music industry at that time.
Hey, bro.
What's up?
Hey, bro.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey. It's your boy Chris Brown, man. You got to run a siren on it, man. You got to drop it. You got to do the dang thing on it, man. You already know how you do it on Power 106 where hip hop lives. I gotta give a game proper. Spit it so she get it. There she is. I gotta stop her. Yeah.
Or should I talk about a smile? Or what about a style? I'm out of time. She's out the door. I gotta go for mine.
Once I got an opportunity to continuously make music and be creative and dance and show people my talents, I think that overpowered everything as a whole. I think people kind of saw it and kind of took it for what it was worth, and it was like, oh, you know what, this guy is really talented. I think he has potential. I think he can do his thing.
You know, what he was able to do as a performer was kind of effortless in the way that he performed. I don't know if it was just his passion for it, or the fact that he was well studied, or just the simple fact that he just knew where to put every move. It was just perfectly placed. He knew his choreography. He was well prepared, man. But greater than just understanding choreography, he understood the magic of singing and dancing. And that right there is a technique that not every artist understands. It takes a lot of hard work and focus. And as a teenager, for him to be able to do that, I just knew that this kid definitely is headed for major success.
Performing a fun new anthem, Chris Brown!
I think he definitely helped take kind of R&B and hip hop and make it more popular, for sure. Make it more pop and more radio and just more top 40. He definitely has his kind of finger on the pulse of the sound of the streets. There's lots of great singers. There's amazing, great artists out there, but not everybody sings and dances and performs on a level like a Chris Brown does.
Team Breezy, they go hard. They were crazy. Anytime we had anytime he had a video, it was always voted #1. Anytime there was like any type of competition between him and other artists, he would kind of always blow people out of the water.
I just try to put 100% in everything I do. My music, what I'm doing as an everyday person. So, I just want to influence and inspire the world just to be better,
No doubt.
Hopefully be better with my music.
He had this energy about him that was unreal. Like, he was non-stop. Every song he played, he had a different idea for it. He had the video for it.
But what I love the most about Chris is his presence. His presence really stands out. That thing when people are like, they're just superstars? Chris is just a superstar.
Standing here with a guy right now that knows everyone on the red carpet and everybody wants to work with him. He's got 3 nominations tonight, of course, Chris Brown. How you doing, buddy?
Hey,
Good, man. How about yourself? Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Hey,
Hanging out with you guys?
me.
A great year for you.
Yeah, it's been a blessing. I just
There,
can't do
that's
nothing but
good
thank all my
enough.
fans.
Okay,
I just
bye,
appreciate
Z.
all the support. It's been
You
incredible.
dumb head.
The winner is Chris
Brown. Oh, fuck.
I'm gonna try to keep it short. They got the countdown on the prompter, so I'm kind of totally. I would have gave it to Coldplay, but I'm really I'm lost for words. I just want to say thank all the fans. I love you with all my heart. I just thank you. I went from being on top of the world, #1 songs, and you know, being kind of like America's sweetheart, you know, to being Public Enemy #1.
Prosecutors have charged singer Chris Brown with 2 felonies, including assault. Allegations of domestic violence damaged
more serious, much more violent. Grammy Award nominee has just posted bail on criminal threat charges.
I think I was about 15. The first time we actually met. It was at a show, I think it's Z100, a show in New York. And we were, and I've been hearing her, like her music and stuff from, you know, the radio. It was a big #1 hit. And I was just sitting there, I was like, man, okay, cool. I want to see what she looked like. I want to meet her. I seen her video. I was like, oh, she cute. So, you know, I saw her at the show, and she was like, hey, what's up, how you doing? And she had an accent. And I was like, never heard that before. That kind of sound good, you know what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? Let me talk to her and see what she's talking about. Just to be cool with it. We exchange information and stuff like that. And through passing, we would be on the same shows. She would always perform and then would go sit in the crowd. She watched my show, so I was like nervous. I was like, did she like me? I didn't know if she liked me or not, but I was just like, she really watching the show, so she actually must like my music. So from there, you know, we just became friends, kicking. Nothing too serious, but we just had, you know, a good understanding of each other.
What's all these dating rumors, Chris? Yes, no?
I would just keep it as we just doing our thing, just having fun.
You know, just one day I remember it was like right before our VMA performance. Me and her did the VMA performance, my first ever one. It was a couple months before that, and I remember staying over her house. And I was just like, man, what we doing? And she was just like, what you mean? I was like, I'm always over here, like, we like each other, obviously. Let's just do it. Let's just be boyfriend and girlfriend. She started laughing. She said, you ain't serious. I don't think you want to do that. And I was like, why? She said, no, you ain't ready. And I was like, no, I am. I think I'm ready, for real. And so then I was like, I think I love you. She was looking at me like, what? Like, did I say the word? You know, so, you know, at that time when we did the VMAs, it was more like we kept our relationship secret. So we had been together for maybe like, I want to say 8 months prior. So it was we just kept it to ourselves. We didn't want everybody to know. We just wanted it, and, you know, just to be like, okay, if they guess it, they guess it. But right now, we love each other, so I really don't care about everybody else. So we did the show, and it was like that moment when you got a chance to say, okay, yeah, they're dating, they're talking. At that moment, she had like the biggest records out, like was going crazy. And me, I still was going strong with all my records and new stuff. When we got a chance to do that show, it was kind of like both of us being able to show the world, like, hey, we both are dope, talented artists, and we both, you know, are gonna make a mark in this world. It was like a fairy tale.
To see Rihanna and Chris when they first started dating, it was magical, you know. And those two, they were kind of inseparable. You know, you would hear about them being in the studio. You would hear, you know, they're coming into the club together, and it was just an energy.
At that time in our career, being that young, being naive, gullible, but also just happy, just wanting to be everywhere. I mean, it was no other feeling like it. But with her, with Rhea, it was just like our power that we had at that age. It was just, it's dangerous, man. Like, you could go anywhere. Like, we couldn't go to a hotel and not have 1,000 fans outside waiting. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't go to any restaurant and just eat. Like real life rock stars at 16 and 17 years old. Man, that's dangerous because you can do whatever you want. I just think we were like the perfect, like, and bad combination. Like, it was just good and bad together. It just, I want to say maybe a year and a half into the relationship with Rihanna, I really was serious about it. Like, you know, I was always goofy about everything else, being a young kid, but maturity level I had, in my beliefs of what I wanted with my girlfriend, you know what, I want to marry you, but I want, before, you know, we go any further, I just want to be able to be honest and be completely real with you about everything you've ever had a question about or a doubt about. She had asked me, like, right when we first started dating, hey, you ever mess with this person? And this person, she worked for me at the time, and I said, nah, man, you know, it's just, you know, I brushed it to the side. One, I didn't want her knowing my business. Two, I just didn't know who she would tell if I tell her what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? So around like the 8th month or maybe like a little bit after that BMA performance, I just broke it to her. I said, hey, I want to marry you, but I want to be real with you. I want to be honest with you and tell you, everything. This is what it is. Before we were together, me and this other girl did have sex. My trust totally was lost with her. You know what I'm saying? She hated me. After that, I tried everything. Like, she didn't care. Like, she just didn't trust me after that. From there, it just went downhill because, it would be fights, it would be verbal fights, physical fights as well, mutual sides. And this is the first time I get to say anything. And like I said, I still love Rihanna, but I'm just going to be honest. We would fight each other. She would hit me, I would hit her. But it never was okay. It was always a point to where we talk about it. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I don't like that. I don't like you slapping me. If I go on stage, I got a scratch on my face, and I gotta explain it like, oh, no, I fell, or like, if you got a scar or a bruise, you gotta put makeup on it. I feel like shit. Like I'm not ever trying to put my hands on any female.
Anger or whatever, you have to walk away from the situation. Never ever put your hands on anyone.
That was his girl, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, what he went through it was like a test. And it wasn't so much of the situation. I think it was just a test in life.
I was just like Chris. I was very successful at a young age, and when you're really successful, I was taught that can't should be a foreign language to you. A no should be a foreign language to you. You shouldn't be able to understand the language of no, or you can't.
Like me, I felt like a fucking monster.
20-year-old pop star Rihanna is the woman involved in the alleged domestic violence assault case.
I lost my best friend. Like, everything I knew switched, and I couldn't control that. So I had to deal with that, and that's not easy for me to understand.
7 years ago, when I was about 17, 18, the whole Rihanna incident happened. A lot of that changed my life. And that night at that Clive Davis party, that I made sure the person that I was involved with before, I said, hey, you can't come around to these places. And the person comes in, comes right to the table and says, hey, what's up, y'all? And I already know it's an issue, so I say, hey, cool. And I keep it, and they keep it moving and leave. I look over at Rihanna, and she's bawling, she's just crying. In the middle of the ceremony about to start, she's just crying. And I'm like, yo, please, baby, don't do this. Like, don't do this in here. Like I didn't know, I promise. I swear to God, I didn't know. So she got over it. She started drinking a little bit. We both were drinking a little bit. We was tipsy, laughing, joking, and then we left.
And Ron, just a few hours ago, we saw Chris Brown drive off. According to sources, the alleged fight broke out inside a Lamborghini that was located at Hancock Park.
As you know, young relationships, any relationship is based on trust, bro, because I told her that she didn't trust me with anything. So I would give her the option of, oh, you can look at my phone. So I gave her the phone. She looks at the phone, there's a message, and it says, kill the Grammys, do your thing. And I didn't read the rest of the message, I didn't open it. So she opened the message, and the rest of the message said, I'll see you at the Cloud Party. So I thought she thought I was lying. She starts going off, she throws the phone, I hate you, whatever. Starts hitting me. We're in a little Lamborghini. She's fighting me, and I'm like, look, I'm telling you the truth, I swear to God. I'm telling you the truth, stop it. So then she hits me a couple more times, and I just kind of it doesn't go from translation to, let's sit down, I'm telling you the truth. It goes to, now I'm finna be mean, and be evil, arguing. So then, I remember she tried to kick me. It's like just her just being upset. But then I really hit her, with a closed fist, like I punched her, and it busted her lip. And when I saw it, I was in shock. I was like, fuck, why the hell did I hit her? So from there, she just spit in my face, spit the blood in my face, and I'm like, yo, so it enraged me even more. Like, it's a real on fight in the car. We driving in the street. So I'm like, yo, man, we tripping. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? She's trying to grab for my phone, and I'm not giving her my phone to throw it out of the window. So she grabs my nuts. And when she do that, I bite her arm, I think, as I'm driving, because I'm still trying to drive. And it's just like a petty, stupid fight, and I'm just realizing it. I'm like, what the hell am I doing, bro? what are you, like, you honestly doing this in the car right now? Like, what are we doing? So I pull over in Hancock Park, maybe less than 2-3 miles from my house. And I'm just trying to resolve the situation. I'm not trying to fight any further. I don't want to, like, I love her. I don't want to hurt my girlfriend. And so I pull over and I said, look, like, I'm telling you the truth. Like, I'm crying, she's crying. Like, I'm telling you the truth. I swear to God, like, I didn't do it. I didn't know she was fucking coming. I didn't know, I promise. She just didn't believe me. Like, I just know you lying to me. So she takes the keys out of the car. I'm in park. She takes the keys out of the car and throws fakes like she throws them out the window. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I get out the car. When I get out the car, I'm looking for the keys in somebody's yard. And she yells out her door, help, he's trying to kill me. I said, stop, like, we gonna get in trouble. So I'm looking for the keys. She's sitting on the keys. So I'm like, you know what? I can't play this game with you. So I'm getting my bags out of the car. She takes my CDs. This is back when I would record on CDs. You couldn't put it on your phone when you were in the studio. So I had new music, and she was just scratching it up. I just seen her scratching it up with the keys. So I saw her snatch the bag. And I was like, you know what? You got the keys. You can drive home.
Shut up, Z, you bum. Ha! I bet you'd expect me to cuff Zachy the bum. Ha! Ha!
A lot of the time, like,
ha! Okay,
I
bye.
look back at that picture and I'm just like, bro, like, that's not me, bro. That's not me. Like, I hate it to this day. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna haunt me forever.
I was hurt the most. Nobody felt what I felt. It happened to me. And it happened to me in front of the world. It was embarrassing, it was humiliating, it was hurtful. You know, it's not easy.
Chris Brown is accused of assault and battery.
You're a great dancer, a great singer, popular, known all over the world. You ever say to yourself, I screwed up?
Can you remember the night he called me and we were in LA and the incident had happened? And he's a mom. Please come. I just did something really bad. Like, oh my God, what is it? And this was the Grammys, the Clive Davis party. We had just left with him and Rihanna at the table. And I'm like, my heart just dropped, but I had no idea what he was going to tell me. And I get to the hotel, and he's laying in the bed crying and crying. And he was hiding, of course, crying like, Mom was like, what did you do? And he told me, I'm like, oh, that was the worst day of my life and probably of his life. Because I just saw that he was just a broken person.
There are these moments, right? In every artist's career that they say, what the fuck was I thinking?
He was laying in bed and he was crying and he was devastated about what happened. But his main concern was, oh, how was she and was she okay? Of course, legal went down and he was arrested or he turned himself in. So he was just devastated, and just seeing him in that state was the worst ever. And I felt like I was gonna lose my child.
I hated myself, you know, so I was thinking about suicide and everything else. So it's just like, fuck. But from there, I said, you know what, I'm gonna just take everything like it's come. My consequences for my actions have to be dealt with. You know, I turned myself in the next day.
When I first met him, he was 18. The male's brain doesn't fully form in impulse control until you're 25. About 6 years ago, last month, I got a call from a buddy in New York who said it was the morning of the Grammys. It was a Sunday. It was about 6:30, and my buddy says there's this guy. There's an arrest warrant for him. LAPD's looking for him. His name is Chris Brown, and the complaining witness's name is Rihanna.
He called me. I think it was maybe an hour or two after it happened. And he was scared, like in disbelief, like he couldn't believe this was even going on. I couldn't believe that, but he was scared.
I have been through a lot in my life, but that was the most devastating thing I've ever had to experience, to see the hurt and the pain on his face and not knowing what was going to happen to him.
I look at it and it's really like, how could I be that person?
Yeah, well, the case originally was an assault with a deadly weapon, criminal threats, various charges like that involving strike offenses, serious felonies. He wanted to immediately take responsibility, wanted to plead guilty.
Plead guilty, didn't argue, didn't say, hey, now let me fight this case and take it to trial. And just say, hey, she fought me back, I'm not, That's not where my head was at, and that's not where it is now. You know, I loved her. You know, I wanted to protect her because I did too much stuff to her. Like I did what I did, so it was wrong.
Explain quickly, Mark, what he pled guilty to.
Assault, basically, is what it is. A felony assault charge.
The hardest, person to say, like, I'll talk about it too, what would be, I would say probably my father. You know what I'm saying? My father and my real father. I don't want to disappoint my father because he actually was different. But my mom, it was a little bit more closer to heart because I seen my mom deal with that, firsthand. Not from my father. My biological father, Clinton Maurice Brown, is a great man, But her, a significant other at the time, my mother, a significant other, he was a monster, animal, pure hatred, evil. Never hated somebody in my life. Like, if I could kill him, I would. So I promised my mom one day. I said, "Look, Mom, I know you tell me not to do like crazy shit and hang with these niggas and do what I do." I said, "But when I get 15, I'm gonna kill him. Like, I'm not playing. I'm not joking. I'm serious. I'm gonna take his life." So that's the kind of hatred this guy brings from me, and fear and stuff like that. So I'm terrified of this man. I would be at home. He blew his brains out when I was 6, but he didn't die. Like, he shot himself in the head and he went blind and shit. I was 6 years old, bro. Like, the fuck? How does a kid deal with that shit? And then, being that he's physically impaired now, it frustrates him more, so he's in a depression. So, but he takes it out on his girl. His girl happens to be my mom. This is what I had to deal with. Like, I had to hear my mom get beat up every night. And I had to pee on myself, like, scared to even get up and walk in the hallway because I didn't want to see them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So nobody knows that fear that they have to deal with, and then it transcends sometimes. It's learned behavior. So me having to see my mom look at me through that light.
Z, you bum. You're a bum, Z.
I just saw him. That's who I saw. I saw him. I didn't see Chris. I seen that motherfucker. And so that's what ate at me a lot. That's what killed my soul a lot because I was the one thing I was running from.
Sometimes you try to run away from the one thing that you don't want to become, and you become it.
The only person they hate right now is him.
The only thing Chris Brown is guilty of? A felony.
We don't know everything that went down. This is a tough one. He's in huge trouble.
We're not going to put up with domestic violence as business as usual. And I think we should just take this and keep moving with it.
We're not saying that he should be thrown in jail. We're saying he should get treatment.
It was a weird, confusing space to be in. Because as angry as I was, as angry and hurt and betrayed, I just felt like he made that mistake because he needed help.
The label or the name woman beater is something I would say to somebody. You know what I'm saying? It scares me because that I would place that judgment on somebody. So when people say it, I don't get mad at them. I'm more mad at myself because I feel like I am the reflection of what they're saying.
To have that type of success that music brings, people really look at you and look to you for inspiration, for hope, for light, for all of these things. And that pressure can sometimes be so tremendous.
You are a rock star. You live in a world where they want every piece of you because they need to sell a story.
He said that he feels really bad about what transpired, that he's going to meet with his pastor and hope to become a better person. There were reports he's gone to anger management classes.
Besides the incident, it's like a domino effect. It brings other things to happen. It brings up rage and anger. And we don't understand why we're angry, because we're angry because we think people think about us in a certain way.
I'm going to tell you something. Let me be honest. I was disappointed, almost felt let down because I said, this kid could be the great superstar.
You say, how could I be the best in the world and people still talk about me? And that's just what life is about. Overcoming emotional quagmires, adversity, becoming stronger in life. If you didn't experience any kind of emotional conflict with yourself or with anyone else, under the lightest struggle, you just crumble.
sentenced to 5 years of probation, as you said, 180 days of what Judge Schnegg calls community labor, and he has to undergo a domestic violence program for 1 year.
Well, the first time I walked in the courtroom, I was super nervous, you know. I never even did jury duty, so I was like, man, I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm not used to this environment.
This is a guy who's gotten kind of everything he wanted since he was 16 years old. But once you step into a courtroom, you lose all control.
They wanted me to do jail time. You know, there was a lot of women's rights groups that were calling in and demanding that I had jail time. You know, I was terrified, man. I was only 17, I think, about to turn 18. And I was like, man, I'm about to go to jail. Is this how my life turned out? I got out of my situation in Virginia and made some of my life, and I'm going right back. That's how I felt.
This is where the process begins. And there has been speculation already by some that this really will end Chris Brown's career.
His drive, his enthusiasm, his excitement about everything was gone.
It's hard to go from that admiration from the world to all of a sudden that judgment from the world, and being able to balance that and understand how to maneuver through that. That shit is not easy.
Being on probation is like the hardest thing ever. I know that was a tough time. Any little thing could be a violation.
I did go into deep depression. I stayed in my house for like 3 months. Stayed in my room, didn't come out here, bring my food to the door. My homies would be like, come on, man, what's up? And I just sleep in bed, stay in bed all day.
Some of the greatest artists in the world fell, from that. And they fall to substance of things that just really cloud the judgment, cloud the ability to kind of see their way through it.
I wasn't sleeping, I barely ate, I just was getting hot. I would pop a couple Xanaxes, drink some lean, and it's like, I'm good. I'd be a zombie for the rest of the day. I remember being on video sets and falling asleep, cussing people out, not knowing where I'm at. And then I would wake up the next day like, yeah, we gotta shoot the video. People like, dude, we shot it yesterday. I'm like, dang. So that's when I knew it went bad.
I said, hey man, I'm not telling you nothing that anybody told me. I'm not telling you nothing that Quincy Jones tell me, Oprah didn't tell me. I'm just telling you on the fly way, do your thing, have fun, but just always remember that if the people that are around you don't have risk like you do, it's probably not cool.
The more light we get, the more we have to shut. We have to hide our demons. That's pretty much a deterrent to see who we truly are. The light. The light is the demon. It's blinding you from seeing him.
The elephant in the room is the fact that there's been some very tumultuous things that Chris has experienced in his career, right? Well, I'll talk about it. Everybody has shit that they go through, but not everybody has to deal with it in front of the world.
One day I just started thinking about it. Well, if they all hate me, I don't want them to hate me because they can't beat me. Then next week I went in the studio and I said, I don't care even if I don't know how to write it, don't like my song, I'm just going to say whatever I feel. Let me just talk about what I'm rocking with. Then you got songs like Deuces and Come On. No bullshit. And even through other process, I try to get back. I try to call and try to hey, what's up, man? Just one time she's like, I got a boyfriend, stop talking. I was like, whoa. So I said, you know what? Cool. Let me just be me. So putting all my records out. The pain records. The ones that when I'm at my lowest point. And it's like back against the wall, nobody thinks I'm coming from the underdog status. And I got a Grammy. All of those records. I don't know, man, I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. Team Breezy, man, it's all for you, man. All my fans back home, I love y'all. So, we got one. Thank you. Well, at that time, I was able to meet somebody else. Her name is Karuji, man. And she kind of got me through the time. I was like, you know what? Cool, man. I'm really cool with not turning up as much. I still did. I only do that only because I didn't know how to cope with dealing with being in love with her every now. at the same time.
What would the Chris Brown sitting next to me right now tell the Chris Brown 1 year ago?
Make some wise decisions, brother. Like I would definitely look at myself. A year ago, I'd be like, man, really, like, don't take this for granted. Don't take anything for granted, and don't think you're untouchable or you're invincible. Because you're not.
He has to make that decision and choose who he is. We have to look in the mirror sometimes of life and decide, do we like who we're looking at? You know, I sometimes don't like who I'm still looking at, but I like him more than I used to like him.
At that time, I just was trying to mask my real feelings. My life was just slowly going downhill because of my fear. You know what I'm saying? And my insecurities and me not really man enough.
So it's 2010. We've decided we're going to have Chris Brown do the year after the year anniversary Jackson tribute.
But there's one tribute performance we've yet to see.
And the crowd knew exactly who it was. And there was this murmur that built, and the lights dropped out, and Chris hit the stage.
It was so surreal, man. I was hosting BET. That for everyone was just a moment in time. It was just, Chris was going through that. And so therefore, it really hurt. A lot of things happened. First of all, we were giving Michael Jackson a real great send-off, a passing of the torch, if you will. And then he poured his heart into it, man.
Chris Brown was there to prove something that night, that he belonged on this planet, that he belonged on stages.
No matter what you think about Chris Brown, when he starts to dance and sing, he has that light, he has that fire, that lightning rodness of a career. So I think that sobered a lot of people up. Like, you know, you can only do so much, you know, you can only give so much. Sometimes you gotta step back a little bit and just decompress.
Everybody's human and everybody makes mistakes. And if God can give us mercy, why can't we have mercy on each other?
You may have heard about Chris Brown's appearance here on GMA on Tuesday. He and I had a brief interview, and then he performed a single from his hit new album. And it's what happened after that performance that unfortunately made headlines.
Chris Brown did become very angry backstage here in our studios, talking about his past clearly touched a nerve, and his behavior now has everyone talking.
Good morning, Americans.
Chris Brown riding high, brand new CD out, Fame, it's out today. Already has 3 #1 hits, a 4th one climbed the charts, and the album is #1 on iTunes today. It's a far cry from the last time the two of us sat down, just months after he pled guilty to felony assault. He took responsibility for hitting his then-girlfriend, Rihanna, and has spent the last 2 years rebuilding his life. Chris Brown, how are you?
I'm pretty good, yeah, everything's good, yeah.
That morning, I remember my album just came out that day. It was a big promotion, you know, all the songs were doing great. Deuces, Look At Me Now, all these big records, Yet Through Time. There were so many records that were kind of just elevating and transcending life instead of the negative that was in my life. So that morning I remember, and I always do this, I'm proud before any interview, I always say, hey, look, these are the terms and conditions of the interview, you can ask this question, you can ask this question, we need you to sign off, just so we can take legal action if you do.
And thank you for sitting down for just a moment before
It's all about the music. Your fans are here, but you have been very good about talking with me a little bit about this because we've gone through it and talked about it when I went to your home. What's going on now is that recently the restraining order against you that Rihanna had issued has been relaxed.
I always danced around the topic. I always would dance around it. I didn't know how to deal with it myself, but still was a big insecurity within myself.
Have you all seen each other, been around each other?
I mean, not really. I mean, it's not really a big deal to me now as far as that situation. I think I'm past that in my life, and I think today's the album day, so that's what I'm focused on. So everybody go get that album. That was so intense to me, and like I felt like it was a slap in the face. Like, you want me to be this person on TV. You want me to be that person. You still want me to be the monster.
Fame. F-A-M-E. Yeah.
What does that stand for?
Fame, forgiving all my enemies, and definitely fans of everything. And that means, like, you know, being able to go through everything I went through and show my fans that I love them, you know? That's what it is, and fans of everything. You can see me getting agitated. You can see me in there kind of getting frustrated.
When you say forgive all your enemies, who do you consider your enemies?
Just anybody naysayers, haters, whatever the case may be. I just think, you know, being positive and promoting it is what I'm about, and that's what I'm going to do. That's like clenching my jaws, trying to play it off.
Yeah, but you can understand how some people, you know, it was very serious what you went through.
It just was killing me because she was depicting the monster that I thought I was.
Have you been able to? How have you been able to?
I've been focusing on this album, you know. I think this album is what, you know, I want people to hear and want people to really get into. So definitely this album is what I want them to talk about. Not just stuff that happened 2 years ago.
I understand that. I understand that.
So I lash out, and it's like an unconscious, like impulsive, like demon. I just walked off stage, and when I walked off stage, and I broke. I broke down, took my shirt off, like I was crying in the middle of the floor, like I was mad punching the wall, like so, like enraged. I remember one of the security guys working there ran up. I said, bro, you come here, it's gonna go bad for you.
Shattered window, which Chris allegedly destroyed after he stormed off the GMA stage.
And anything I threw a chair through the window. I punched the window. Through my anger, I didn't know how hard I hit the window, and it actually shattered. And I was like, fuck. I just remember just leaving the building. I was like, I gotta leave the building before I do something else. I just remember running outside. We hopped in the van, got pictures of me with my shirt off in the middle of the street. Like, I was crazy, man. That's like psycho behavior.
I think Chris has gone to the bottom at some point in his career. Or at least he's felt that way.
But when Chris Brown got big, you know it's the biggest camera on you at all times.
Stupid fuck. Yeah, you didn't expect me coming, did you? Tricked you. Dumb ball.
Frank Ocean reportedly over a parking spot.
According to reports, both Chris and Drake were hanging out in the VIP section 1 minute, the next fist and bottles were flying, leaving the club completely trashed. Several people hurt.
I definitely think it's extremely important to walk away from a situation before anger gets the best of you, because everything after that is a consequence.
You have to focus on the choices you make. And me, I was a fuck it kind of dude. So it was like, I didn't give a fuck. So I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. Fuck it. That mentality don't only last for so long. Then you go to jail.
Chris Brown is in a Washington, D.C. jail this morning, charged with assaulting a man early Sunday morning outside his hotel. Oh, this is a serious charge, and Brown already on probation on a domestic violence charge.
Caruso will go with. And I was like, not even how to deal with at that time. And I just was angry. So then when I got to DC, that's when I caught that case. I broke one of the guys' nose.
Chris Brown in jail this morning and could face the reality of prison time after this latest incident, his third run-in of the year. The victim says in the police incident report he attempted to get into a photo with Brown, and the rapper said, quote, "I'm not down with that gay expletive. I feel like boxing." Brown then punched Parker in the face.
They called me to check myself into rehab. You know, check myself into rehab for anger management.
Hopefully rehab will be a new start for the singer. He seemed to be hinting at that in this recent tweet. In order to go where you have never gone, you have to be willing to go where you have never been.
Try to figure out what makes me tick, what makes me this aggressive. Why do I have to be this impulsive? Why am I this person?
I think that this being his third violation, the judge is probably going to throw the book at him.
Everybody has some tumultuous thing that happens in their career. The way you rebound from that is what makes you who you are. If you didn't have something to go through, it wouldn't be worth it when you got to it.
Chris Brown has checked into rehab. The singer's rep announced Tuesday night he's chosen to enter a facility. His goal is to gain focus and insight into his past and recent behavior, enabling him to continue the pursuit of his life and his career from a healthier vantage point.
During that time, I had to do community service and go to rehab. Rehab helped me to a degree. Not to discredit anybody here, but you know, I think because of my lifestyle and who I was envied a lot by even some of the staff and some of the people that worked there.
Chris was thrown out today for breaking internal rules. Sources are telling us that Chris had an inappropriate, is how we're being told, a relationship with a worker there.
So I got a call up to the office to say, oh, somebody wants to speak to you. So I walk up to the office like, okay, cool. 7 cops just come up, drunk, drunk. Get out, get over, bro. Like, what the fuck did I do? So the woman, I guess, she lied and said that I talked about threatening with knives and guns and I like to hurt people for fun or whatever it is. Like, if you look at any of the reports in the whole time I've been there, there's never been no incident of me saying anything like that. I said, why would I even randomly joke about it? You know what I'm saying? So I can see that it was somebody set me up. So automatically, they called my PO and said we kicked him out of rehab. And then the judge said, well, go pick him up. County jail, here I come.
I don't think that there's any doubt that Chris Brown is not guilty, and we want him to be found not guilty. He's been there for 90 days. He was making tremendous progress. You know, do you have a bad day? I have bad days sometimes. Do you say things you'd like to take back? I certainly do. So I don't know that being in a therapeutic session and you're talking about your reflections and you say one sentence means you go to jail, seems to me to be counterproductive to therapy.
Jail was like an eye-opener, man. Like, you know, once you get in there with real killers, once you get in there with real murderers, real, you know, rapists, child molesters, you know, all the worst, you know, you get a chance to understand what it is and how blessed you are.
It feels like you're hopeless. Although when he was in jail, I was there every other day. The judge gave me permission to go with his attorneys, and that was uplifting for me because every day I'm calling the attorney, could you please go with me today? Could you please go with me? I just want to see him. Because I said, just to get him out of the cell.
You would get out on like the end of the week for an hour. You go.
apologize for his accent if you can't see. He said he wants to go do something. I don't know if he's back yet. Shit. This is documentary. Can't watch it right now. $3 on PayPal. What do you want to watch? No, he's watching it. It's Chris Brown thing or whatever. It's strange he can hear us, but I think he wants to go do something. Let's go pray. Because his dad made him. He can hear us right now too. Stupid Z, you bum.
You're watching together? What are you watching it on?
I'm not watching it. He is. I'm just streaming for him. Because I bought it because it wouldn't work for him. It was $3 on PayPal.
Wait, that's going to hold it.
So many times. Really? Because he saw you legit. He never poops. He hasn't pooped lessons. You bum. He's a good boy. That's my funny. Are you happy about me? You hear making that noise? Is he sniffing? I don't know. Your left is up to me. He doesn't like you. Why the fuck won't be sniffing you? He's like, who is this bum? Gosh! He's like, who is this?
I was in a different house the whole time. I barely showered. I'm wearing different clothes. I smell so different. He's like, who the fuck's this nigga?
He's legit sniffing the shit out of you. What'd you do? No, seriously, look. He's like sniffing everything. What the? Stupid Harrison, you bum. He's over here. Dad. He's clue. Hope they're okay. Hey, fuck you.
What?